All right, Brandon Royval versus Tatsuro Taira has just concluded, and it was a war. It wasn't. I mean, and here's the thing: I had Royval taking rounds 1 and 3. Tatsuro was taking 2 and 4. Royval obviously had it on the feet. His 1-2 was just super good. Got Tatsuro a few times. And in the fifth round, it was all about where's this fight going to stay. Where you have Tatsuro Taira dominating on the ground, Royval on the feet. But then fifth round, Royval is the one dominating on the ground and gets the takedowns and the slams and all that stuff. You know what? Close fight. Tatsuro Taira is definitely a top fiver. But he just needs to season himself before he's ready for any sort of title fight, which Pantoja is apparently going to be facing another Japanese prospect who's making a title fight debut. So we'll see where that happens. I'm going to have to go do a look around on where that goes. But Brandon Royval, I know I said I was going for Tatsuro because it would just open up a little bit more opportunities for the flyweights, right? It was going to make more matches. Tatsuro Taira was going to get a title shot. Royval was going to go probably fight Steve Erceg or someone like that, the one guy that he probably hasn't faced yet. But Royval is probably going to be at that number one spot gatekeeper position, while you're going to look around and Tatsuro Taira is going to have to go look for another fight. But looking at that, I think that the perfect matchup now, looking at it, would definitely be Tatsuro Taira versus Steve Erceg. And I've been thinking about this because both guys need a bounce back fight. It's a big risk for Steve Erceg, who's on a 2-fight losing streak, and you don't want to see it go to 3 because it's a very winnable fight for Tatsuro Taira. But Taira could also lose this fight because he's not the best striker as far as UFC standards go. We've seen better striking from Steve Erceg, to be honest. So I feel like it would actually be a smarter move for Steve Erceg to try to use him as a stepping stone. Sometimes that's the game. That's the way it goes down. But actually, it would be a winnable fight for either guy. And plus, Erceg has better ground game than Royval does, by far. So I think that Taira would not want to take Erceg to the ground, and he'd want to at least try and stand and bang, but Taira is not on the same caliber of striking as Kai Kara France. So I think that's definitely the fight to make. With Royval, it's like, where does he go now? Does he move up to Bantamweight? Does he try to take on some guys who are, a little bit bigger? Because although he fell short against Pantoja, I still think that he's got value in the UFC, and I think he could do better than probably just a gatekeeper status. Maybe if he wants to move to bantamweight, I think I'd be down for that. I like to see him versus Rob Font and then see how he does, and then maybe follow in the footsteps of Figueiredo versus Petr Yan. But right now for Tatsuro Taira, definitely a fight with Steve Erceg would just be a back and forth for both guys, a fan service one. I would actually like to see both those guys be coming off of wins. Bad timing, especially Steve. I've been very vocal about my support for Steve Erceg, but that is the fight to make. So whether it's comfortable or not, it's something that we might need to move forward on in the UFC flyweight rankings, but I'm actually starting to get less worried about flyweight and its marketability crisis because we are having some names, and I think that we've had an unexpected turn to the better where 125 has some of the best matchups and best names behind them that we've ever seen. But that's what I got to say. Wow, what a fight. What a war. Peace out.